Once there was a man named Marcus. He lived in a busy city where people always seemed to be in a hurry. Marcus had a job, a family, and many responsibilities. Like everyone else, he faced difficult conversations almost every day. Sometimes it was with his boss, who was never satisfied with his work. Other times it was with his wife, when they disagreed about money or raising their children. And sometimes it was with friends who said things that hurt his feelings. Marcus often felt angry or upset after these conversations. He would replay them in his mind, thinking of all the things he should have said. One evening, after a particularly hard talk with his boss, Marcus went for a walk to clear his head. He stopped by an old bookstore, a place he had passed many times but never entered. That night, for some reason, he went inside. The shop was quiet, with shelves full of dusty books. An old man sat behind the counter, reading. Marcus wandered between the shelves until a small book caught his eye. The title was simple, Letters to a Stoic. He picked it up and flipped through the pages. The words inside spoke about calmness, control, and facing life's challenges without losing one's peace. Intrigued, Marcus bought the book and took it home. That night, he began reading. The words were written by a philosopher named Seneca, who lived long ago. Seneca wrote letters to a friend, teaching him how to remain steady in difficult moments. Marcus read about how most of our suffering comes not from the events themselves, but from how we react to them. He read about the importance of pausing before speaking, of listening more than arguing, and of accepting what cannot be changed. The next day, Marcus decided to put these ideas to the test. His coworker, a man named Luke, often made rude comments about his work. That morning, Luke criticized a report Marcus had spent hours preparing. In the past, Marcus would have argued angrily, defending himself. But this time, he took a deep breath. He remembered Seneca's words. Ye suffer more in the imagination than in reality. Instead of reacting, Marcus simply nodded and said, I'll take another look at it. Luke seemed surprised by the calm response. Later, Marcus revised the report without resentment. He realized that by not fighting, he had saved himself hours of stress. A few days later, Marcus faced another test. His wife, Anna, was upset because he had forgotten their anniversary. She spoke sharply, her voice full of disappointment. The old Marcus would have snapped back, making excuses or blaming her for being too sensitive. But this time, he paused. He remembered another lesson from Seneca. Anger is temporary madness. Instead of adding fuel to the fire, he looked at Anna and said, You're right. I should have remembered. I'm sorry. Anna's anger softened. The conversation didn't turn into a fight. They talked calmly, and Marcus promised to make it up to her. As weeks passed, Marcus kept practicing Stoicism in his conversations. He noticed something surprising. The more he controlled his reactions, the less conflict he faced. People around him began to change too. His boss, who used to shout, now spoke more calmly. His wife argued less. Even Luke, the difficult coworker, started being more polite. Marcus realized that by changing himself, he had somehow influenced those around him. One evening, he returned to the bookstore to thank the old man. The shop was empty, and the old man smiled when he saw Marcus. Did the book help? He asked. Marcus nodded. More than I expected, he said. The old man chuckled. That's how wisdom works. It doesn't change the world. It changes how you see the world. Marcus left the store with a new understanding. Difficult conversations would always exist, but he no longer feared them. He had learned that being stoic didn't mean being emotionless. It meant choosing his reactions wisely. It meant listening, pausing, and responding with clarity instead of anger. Most importantly, it meant remembering that he could not control others, only himself. And so Marcus continued his journey, one conversation at a time. He still faced challenges, but now he faced them with a quiet mind and a steady heart. He knew that true strength was not in winning arguments, but in mastering oneself. And for the first time in his life, he felt truly free. The end.